So are you struggling to get your power level up because it won't increase because all the new items that you get are not increases to the ones that you're wearing? You might be struggling because the way gear drops work. The first tip I can give you is to not upgrade any of your items that are below power level 130 because you're going to be creating a mathematical problem for you that you might not even know that you're experiencing. So the way gear drops work in Marvel's Avengers is that you get gear based on the items that you have received. So look here, I have a 77, a 70, a 75, and a 76. Now I'm going to get gear drops based on those values. However, if I take this 77, for example, I'm going to quickly upgrade it here, waste a few of my resources. I'm going to upgrade it to about, let's say, 87, yeah, because give it the 10 power level increases. The problem with having this as 87, whereas it might look good on paper because it actually increases your power level over here, it actually doesn't increase the chance of you getting items that are now higher than 87. I'm probably only going to get power level items that are just over 77. So I might get a 78, a 79, maybe even like a 81, 2, or 3. But I will never get higher than 87. So it will always look like all the new gear is worse than my 87, which is actually not. You have to minus the 10 from here to go to 77. If the new gear that you get is over 77, it is then better than what you're wearing over here, which can sound kind of confusing, but upgrading your gear at this low power level or below 130 creates this problem where you kind of have to get gear that is lower, like but better than your like previous original power amount for your gear. So all in all, you need to focus on getting gear that is higher than the base power level of what your item originally was. So if you have a 87 like I do here, that its max power is boosted by an extra 10, so we know it was a 77 item. If I get a new item that is 78, I need to equip that because that is better and it will give me a higher chance of getting a power level increase the next time I get a piece of gear instead of keeping this 87 because I will never be able to replace this 87 as much as I try. Because all the gear you get is linked to the gear that you've received on its base status. Upgrades don't mean anything. And I'll prove it to you right now. So I'm going to play a mission quickly and I'm going to show you the different types of drops versus this one over here. So I have a non-boosted 70, 75, as well as a non-boosted 76. You'll notice that I will not get a replacement for this 87. Heck, upgrade this one over here, which goes up by an extra 5. So it can show that this one will not get any increases to its power level as well. More than likely. Because it is possible to get something that's higher than 5 power level, but trying to replace an epic item that has a 10 power level increase is really difficult. To do this, I'm going to go to my regular Forest Elite Vault. I'm actually going to change the difficulty to Challenge 1, since it actually doesn't really affect too much of the gear's power level that will be dropping. It more affects, like, am I going to be getting epics or legendaries instead of greens and blues. So I just looted all the chests and not going into the actual vault, like my normal video that I made previously on how to just farm all the chests around in the Forest Vault mission. It took me about 8 minutes and this is what I got. So if you come here and you look at my 87 that's been boosted from 77, I only got a legendary drop that is on 78. Now, this doesn't look like an increase at all, right? It actually is. 78 is higher than my 77 that I had here previously, so I will equip this. It might actually make my entire power level go down, but it is a better item and it will give me a higher chance of getting higher power level items the next time I play. If I look at this next slot here, you can see this one hasn't been upgraded and it still gives me a chance of 78s. If I had to upgrade this by 10 different power levels, it would be 80. So a 78 is actually a really good number to have on this item. Moving on to the other one that we upgraded by 5 points, you can see this one was 75, we made it 80, but the drops that I got are 76 and 78. 78 is a lot higher than the 75 that I had previously. Even the 76 is an upgrade to this item over here. And then our final piece here, you can see we have a 76, it hasn't been upgraded, and we have a 79 that can replace it. So this is how you're basically going to be upgrading your power level bit by bit. The same thing goes for your minor artifacts. You can see I have 2 that are upgraded here, both fully to maximum. You can see this one is 78. It would have been about 73 in its previous one, so I can actually equip the 75 there. And this one, the 80, I can replace with the 77 because this 80 is actually only a power level 70 item. So it gets a little bit confusing if you have to keep upgrading items that are below power level 130. And this is something you just need to remember so that you can actually help yourself get power level increases without kind of scamming yourself out of thinking like, okay, cool, I've got a power level 80 item, I need to get an item that's higher than 80 to replace this one, because the odds are you probably won't get a replacement for that 80 power level. You got to get one that replaces the 70 mark. I hope this makes sense. If you do have any more questions, you can comment down below. I do reply to every single comment, so you can test that right now. And I'll see you guys in a future video. Thank you for watching.